We're in Whitley County tonight, where a babysitter is accused of shooting at the children she was caring for.
Hundreds of people gathering to honor a Kentucky high school football player who died in an accident on the practice field. How his family is remembering him. Tonight, a Lexington woman convicted of killing her boyfriend in northern Kentucky learned how long she'll have to spend in prison for it.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening. She was supposed, but instead, investigators say a Whitley County woman fired shots at two young children. The Whitley County Sheriff's Office charged Lori Cornett with wanton endangerment. Investigators say she was babysitting two 7-year-olds at the time. New tonight, Kristen Kennedy talks to the sheriff and one of Cornett's neighbors. It's our top story at 11.
A babysitter sat behind bars earlier this week in Whitley County. Lori Cornett was supposed to be caring for her cousin's 7-year-old twins, but Sheriff Colin Harrell says she had them feeling more scared than safe. The twins called 911 from a neighbor's house.
And they wanted to report that someone had tried to kill them.
Sheriff Harrell says Cornett fired twice at the two when they were in the front yard, and he says she pointed her gun at the deputy who went over to speak with her.
She met him with a loaded pistol, and it was cocked. And her explanation was that she had been on medication and had been drinking.
Cornett told us her attorney doesn't want her sharing her side of the story, but her neighbors are talking. They find the whole thing hard to believe.
Lori, I've never heard her argue. I've never heard her raise her voice.
Neighbor Marcia Leach got to know Cornett when she cared for her husband when he was ill. Leach says Cornett worked at Jellicoe Hospital. She now runs a dog grooming business.
And I was just so shocked. I could not believe that she was able to do something like that. She just seemed like she's always got kids up there swimming and playing and doing something with them.
The twins weren't injured. In Whitley County, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
In addition to the two shots fired outside, the Whitley County Sheriff says Cornett fired 3 inside the house. She is facing 3 counts of wanton endangerment. New tonight, dispatchers have released the 911 call a Clay County man made after police say he killed his girlfriend. The Clay County Sheriff's Office charged 21-year-old Isaiah Stidham with murder. Investigators say he shot his girlfriend, 32-year-old Sherry Collins, during an argument yesterday. Police say that Stidham then called 911, claiming Collins cut her before he shot her.
She just come back and she's attacked me. I had to shoot her.
You shot her?
I had to. She just pulled a knife on me and come at me.
Is she
She
breathing?
just walked all the way over to my house and
Sir, is she
attacked
breathing?
me. She's breathing, but she's about to go out.
Police say that Stidham later admitted that he actually cut himself to make it look like he had been attacked. They also say that he admitted to the murder. He is scheduled to be arraigned on Monday. Hundreds of people gathering this afternoon to honor a Western Kentucky high school football player who died in an accident. A vigil was held for 17-year-old Javon Quarles at Hopkinsville High School. Investigators say he died yesterday when a piece of football equipment hit him in the head on a practice field at the middle school. They say he was moving the equipment on the field at the time. Javon's aunt says he missed last season because of a medical condition, and he was looking forward to going back to the field.
You know, and it's hard, like I told his mother, his 2 brothers, his dad, and his grandmother, that he lived out his legacy. That's what he wanted to do, so y'all be proud of him.
A GoFundMe page has been set up to help for Javon's funeral expenses. It has already raised more than $2,000. Tonight, we're tracking the investigation into a deadly crash out of Lee County. It happened just after 9 this morning on Highway 708 east of Beattyville. State police say that 58-year-old Michael Spencer's car crossed the center line and hit a Jeep Cherokee head-on. Police say that Spencer died at the scene. They say the driver of the Jeep, 30-year-old Laura Thorpe, was airlifted to a UK hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police are not sure why Spencer's car crossed the center line. Another crash killed a Taylor County woman today. The Taylor County Sheriff's Office says they were called to Highway 744 near Campbellsville about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Investigators say that 47-year-old Jane Beams lost control of her car in a curve and hit a tree. They say that she died at the scene. More than 2 weeks after a puppy was found starving outside an apartment building, investigators say they have tracked down her owner. Jessamine County Animal Care and Control says that Eugene Gino Floyd has been cited for second-degree animal cruelty. That's a misdemeanor. Investigators say the puppy was abandoned and was severely malnourished when they found her. She's doing much better now. Investigators say Floyd told them he didn't mean to hurt the dog.
Didn't really tell us that he physically withheld food. His statement was that he worked long hours and didn't have enough time for the animal.
We tried to reach Floyd for comment, but he didn't return our calls. The dog will stay at the animal shelter until the case is resolved. If convicted, Floyd could be sentenced to a year in jail and a $500 fine. The Rowan County clerk returned to work today, but her office still is not issuing marriage licenses. Kim Davis didn't want to talk to us today while we were at her office. Her attorneys faced a deadline today to file a response after asking a federal judge to stay the injunction requiring her to issue marriage licenses.
No person should be forced by the government to violate their sincerely held religious beliefs. That's what Kim Davis is being asked to do by the current order that's been entered against her.
Attorneys say Davis is not disregarding the judge's order. She just wants to make sure her appeal is decided. They say if the request for a stay is denied, they will take the request on an emergency basis to the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. New tonight, a Lexington woman convicted of killing her former boyfriend in northern Kentucky has been sentenced. Shayna Hubers, 40 years in prison. She'll have to serve at least 34 years before she is eligible for parole. A jury convicted Hubers of the 2012 murder of Ryan Poston. Police said Hubers admitted shooting him 6 times, but she claimed she was a victim of domestic violence. Police have arrested 2 people in connection to a robbery and a police chase. Paris police say that about 8:30 last night, 34-year-old Dale Weaver and 38-year-old Shanetta Thomas robbed the shoe show at gunpoint. Police then spotted the suspect's car nearby and began chasing it. They say the car stopped on Interstate 75 in Fayette County. They arrested Thomas there, but they say Weaver ran off. Police say they arrested him nearby at his aunt's house on Ward Drive. Both suspects face robbery charges. Storms bringing rain to parts of southern Kentucky tonight, but for most of us, it stayed dry. So how about that weekend forecast? Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look, and it looks pretty promising, right, Jim?
I mean, for the most part, a lot of us will stay on the dry side. Yes, we'll run into some isolated chances of showers and thunderstorms with a little more heat and humidity, which is normal for this time of year. We look outside tonight and check some of the temperatures, and we are running right now 66 degrees in Lexington. That's pretty comfortable stuff. 68 in Richmond, already down to low 60s showing up across parts of northern Kentucky out there tonight. Now, as we look at Defender, we are scanning the skies all across Kentucky. We're not finding any showers or thunderstorms, at least at this moment. Now, earlier, just a few hours ago, we had plenty of activity showing up, basically from Monticello all the way out into parts of Harlan County. It was kind of the main corridor, and then you go even further out to the west into out toward Bowling Green with a few showers creeping through that area. But tonight, it's smooth sailing, and with a lot of fall festivals already getting going. I know we're still summer, but a lot of festivals getting on the road and going. Tomorrow, we're looking at 85 degrees, small chance of a shower or a thunderstorm, so that's why I'm throwing in the mainly dry wording. So if you have something outdoors this weekend, whether it is a festival or you're just outside, period, should be fine for you, just a little bit warmer. We'll take a closer look at the entire forecast coming up for you in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jim. Some good news for drivers on the UK campus. A stretch of Alumni Drive will reopen this weekend. The part between Tates Creek Road and Nicholasville Road closed in May for construction. Crews installed a roundabout that UK leaders say will help with traffic congestion. Alumni Drive will reopen on Sunday, just in time for a new school year and a new football season at nearby Commonwealth Stadium.
The ability to have this project being completed on time as well as on budget is real critical for us, and we're excited about that.
Instead of stop signs, the roundabout has yield signs to encourage drivers to slow down. This was a great night to listen to some music outside, and that's just what hundreds of people did at Keeneland. The Meadow at Keene Barn hosting the annual Picnic with the Pops. This year's theme, a tribute to Louis Armstrong. Wycliffe Gordon performed along with the Lexington Philharmonic.
I came to listen to the jazz trombonist and thinking I'm just going to sit and listen. Little did I know that it would be such a huge festive occasion to see the table decorating, and it's my first visit here because I'm just moving back to Kentucky.
Welcome back. Our Sean Moody was the MC. If you missed tonight, don't worry. Picnic with the Pops will continue tomorrow. Gates open at 6 tomorrow night with the show beginning at dusk. General admission tickets are $15 in advance. It is a lot of fun. And it's a symbolic milestone in relations between the United States and Cuba today. Secretary of State John Kerry was on hand as the American flag was raised over the newly opened U.S. Embassy in Havana. Margaret Brennan has more from Cuba.
Great seal.
History was made before dawn when the United States seal was hung at the embassy for the first time in 54 years. Once daylight broke, 3 Cold War-era Marines who shuttered the embassy in 1961 helped the next generation unfurl the flag. James Tracy, then a master gunnery sergeant, was one of those Marines who helped take down the flag and promised one day to return.
We're back. We're here to stay this time, I think.
But despite the optimism of the day, there is still a lot of work needed to repair the decades-long rift. Cuba wants the U.S. to repeal its trade embargo, which is choking its already weak economy. And President Obama has called on the Castro government to stop the crackdown on political dissidents who want real democracy. I asked Secretary Kerry about that.
We are now engaged in diplomacy and able to help to shed light on what is happening.
And Secretary Kerry is meeting behind closed doors with some of those activists. And that at least is a thorn in the side of the Cuban government on what is otherwise a day of celebration. Margaret Brennan, CBS News, Havana.
John Kerry is the first U.S. Secretary of State to visit Cuba in 70 years. Tonight, firefighters are trying to figure out what caused a fire that destroyed a large house in northeastern Kentucky. This fire started about 6 tonight at a home in Ashland. As you can see, flames just shooting out of the roof and windows at one point. This fire was so large that drivers on Interstate 64, miles away, could see all the smoke. Neighbors say firefighters only had one fire hydrant to work with, so they used water from a nearby swimming pool to put out the fire. No one was injured. Also new tonight, a massive 3-alarm fire tearing through part of a chemical plant in Texas. Investigators say a series of explosions triggered the fire at Drill Chem just outside of Houston. At one point, emergency managers told everyone living within 2 miles of the plant to shelter in place. Smoke from the fire could be seen for miles. Firefighters say the fire is now under control and all emergency orders have been lifted. So far, there have been no reports of any injuries. Investigators are not sure what caused the explosions. Artists, many artists, very talented, filling in Lexington's Woodland Park this weekend for the annual Woodland Art Fair. And this event celebrating a big milestone. This is the 40th year for the fair. Organizers expect 60,000 to 70,000 people to check out the fair this weekend. It's open from 10 to 6 tomorrow and from 10 until 5 Sunday, and it's free to attend. Many of us from WKYT will be on hand to say hello, so stop by and see us.